Are you an introverted entrepreneur looking to skyrocket your income without years of repetitive mindset work? Then you are at the right place. Welcome to another exciting episode of Talking Business with Ritz. Hi. Today we are going to discover how the introverted brain can influence your business and avoid the number one mistake that most introverts make. All right, join us as we uncover the secrets to success with our expert guests. Get ready for an inspiring story of financial transformation as our guest shares her secret to more wealth. She is a psychologist and a brand creation mentor, the owner of and CEO of the company called Success in Biz Magic. Now, her goal is to truly help thousands of fellow introverts build their business and create drastic change in their money and time freedom. So, what a great goal. All right, without much ado, let's welcome Coach Jamila Ekkel. Let me put her on stage. All right. Hi, Coach Jamila.
Hi,
All right. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here today. Thank you for joining us.
thank you for having me.
All right. Now, before we dive into the fascinating insights and wisdom that you're about to share, I want to remind our incredible audience, coaches, course creators, consultants, experts, and service providers, introverts, extroverts alike, that this show is all about showcasing the human behind the title before the offer. It's all about celebrating real stories, genuine experiences, and the incredible lessons we can learn from each other. Yes. Okay, so this is the show where we break down barriers and shed light on the secrets of entrepreneur success. Okay, so for those who are watching with us now, kindly comment hashtag live. All right. And those who are catching us on replay, please comment hashtag replay and say hi. All right. Now let's move on to the first segment. Let me flash our segment. Here we go. Welcome to the first segment, Know the Expert. Get ready to discover the unique and exciting side of our incredible guest. We'll be throwing some random questions here and there or her way to get to know her better. Now, in this segment, we will discover the fascinating story behind her entrepreneurial journey and gain valuable insights from an incredible expert. So, I am honored to have Coach Jamila Ekkel in the show. Now, let's find out what makes this brilliant psychologist and brand creation mentor tick. Now, get ready to know her on a whole new level as we uncover fascinating insights and surprising revelations. All right. Now, Coach Jamila, let's set
Yes.
up the stage for this segment. I lend you the stage and tell us what you do, who do you serve, and why you're here in our show. All right. Let me do that now.
All right. So my name is Jamila Ekkel, and I live in the Netherlands, and I'm based in the Netherlands as well. But that doesn't mean that I cannot work worldwide, like many of you probably. And what I do and who I serve is really that I'm basically originally a psychologist. So I have been a psychologist for 11 plus years. But I'm moving away from psychology work and psychology land because of many reasons that I'm not going to talk about right now. And I want to use my psychology knowledge into my new business as a brand creation mentor for introverts, to help my fellow introverted entrepreneurs, because I'm an introvert, a huge introvert myself. I want to help my fellow introverts, mostly therapists and coaches that I'm focusing on, because that's my background, right? And I want to help them create their own unique brand and brand identity, and then also help them make and hold on to money more easily. So this is not just about raising your income, it's also about not spending all of that income, so to say. And more about that later in my own story. I am here today because I absolutely love the format of Ritzel's interview. I've previously watched an interview and I really, really love it. And I just want my audience to get to know me better. So I hope that this is going to be a really fun interview. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that. All right. Now, um, now for my first question. Are you ready?
I hope so.
Okay, here we go. Now, what is your favorite word and why?
um, I think I have many favorite words, honestly, but currently my favorite word is really growth. And it's been growth for a while. And I'm a very, very action oriented person. I like to think in solutions instead of in problems. And so that the word growth really entails that for me, right? So if that makes sense.
Okay, thank you about that. Now, from the scale of 1 to 10, where 10
Mhm.
is the highest, how weird are you?
I think I'm pretty weird, but I think a lot of people say that. I'd say like a 7 or 8, and that's generally speaking because of the quirky hobbies I have. So I'm a very nerdy type of person.
Mhm.
I love all things Asian, Japanese. I love anime. I love games. I love to play RPGs, for example, and I have a Nintendo Switch. So I'm a very Nintendo-y person as well. So I'm a very geeky, nerdy person overall, I'd say.
Speaking of Nintendo, have you watched the latest Mario Brother?
No, I haven't. Is it a recommendation you'd make?
Mm,
Oh, okay.
okay. All right. Let's move on. What's the best?
Sure.
Okay. Now, what's the best gift you've ever received, and why was it so special?
I think the best gift I've ever received must have been a gift that is pretty big, and it has to do with the not with the size of the gift, but more of like the intention behind it, and it has to do with my story that I'm going to share later, actually. But it's part of a new car that I got. Yeah.
What
And I was
brand?
really happy with it because I love cars, first of all, and
Mm-hmm.
second, um, um, it's really a gesture. It was really a gesture from that person, so it was really, it meant a lot to me, right? Yeah.
Nice. What car? What model of the car you have?
I have a Ford Fiesta right now.
Wow.
Yeah. But I'm more a Mazda person, actually. Mazda is my dream car. I'm gonna get one day.
My dream car is an Olympic car. You know, I forgot the name. The one that has this logo, the all
Okay.
circle attached together like that. Okay,
Okay,
never
cool.
mind.
But you're a car person too, then?
Not really. I just want that car.
Oh, okay, that's a specific car. Yeah, right.
Yes. All right. So, if you could go back in time and give your younger self one piece of advice when you were starting out, what would it be?
So my younger self was, and this is not going to be a sob story, but my younger self was very socially anxious. I was a very anxious person in general.
Mm-hmm.
Looking back, I really feel bad for my own younger self being so constricted, right, in the fear.
Mm-hmm.
And the advice that I would give her is to just do the things step by step and don't force yourself so hard, right? Don't try to be like everyone else, especially being the introvert that you are, and just take it step by step and you'll get there eventually.
Yeah. quite
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Okay, now, all right. Next question. Now, beyond your amazing work as a
Mm.
psychologist, what do you do when you are not working?
Well, I sort of like mentioned before that I like to game, right? So, for example, I play a game called Harvest Moon, if anyone has ever heard of that one. And it's really just farming sims, basically. So, farming simulator. I think that's very relaxing to me. I love gardening, so I'm very into flowers and plants and stuff like that. That is really relaxing to me.
Mhm.
Also, I love my dog. I have a Samoyed dog, very fluffy, and we like to take walks. And I love animals in general, so like going to parks and spotting animals, and going to like a farm house or something and seeing animals there is amazing for me. I have a lot of hobbies. I draw, I cook, I bake. I really love baking. Um, yeah, I do a lot. I have too little time for everything that I want to do.
You are a multi-talented person.
Wow, or multifaceted, I'd say.
Okay, now, as a brand creation mentor, what's
Hmm.
one habit that you've developed that you think has contributed to your success as an entrepreneur?
Um, I think, and we'll be talking about this later, but I think my knowledge about like the how the introverted brain works
Mm-hmm.
has really helped me develop my own brain further in some ways, and those ways have really contributed to my successes up until now.
All right, I'm gonna
Yeah,
talk about that more later on.
yeah.
Okay, now last question. What's one thing that people might be surprised to learn about you or your business?
Hmm, that's a good question. Maybe I'm not sure. Like I cannot see inside other people's brains what they would be surprised about. But I would say I don't talk a lot about, for example, that I have chronic pain issues. And they might be surprised to learn that even though I have my chronic pain issues and my challenges in that area, I still book my successes, right? So even though I have challenges, I can still do those other things as well, and still feel balanced and not burned out, right?
Yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Now, thank you, Coach Jamila, for being such a good sport. By now, I'm sure we already have an idea of who Coach Jamila Ekkel is as a real person. So, this concludes the first segment of our show, Know the Experts. Yay. Okay, let's go to the next. Here we go. Welcome back to Talking Business with Ritz. We are now in the Learn from the Expert segment where we dive deep into the wisdom of our expert guests. For those who are just tuning in, this is Ritzel Rectra, your host for today. I am a digital content creator and process automation specialist. I am also the CEO and owner of My Teacher Virtual Solutions. So don't forget to join our free Facebook group. Let me just flash that now. Here we go. Talking Business with Ritz live expert interview. The show always airs every Saturday. If I have no guests, that will be a restream of previous episode. Okay, now I am now with Coach Jamila Ekkel, a brilliant brand creation mentor and the CEO of Success and Biz Magic. So in this segment, Learn from the expert. Our guest will be sharing how to raise your income faster than ever before as an introvert entrepreneur. Okay, now let's talk business. Here we go. Okay, as an introverted entrepreneur, you possess a treasure trove of strengths. One, deep thinking, keen observation, and remarkable focus. I want some of them. Okay, Coach will explain how an introverted brain can influence business success. let me flash our first topic, which is bam bam bam, introverted brain power, unleashing business success for entrepreneurs. Okay, now Coach Jamila, how does understanding and embracing your introverted nature allow you to tap into these innovative ideas and strategies for increasing income without really constantly battling mindset barriers?
Right. So before I answer your question, which is a very good question, I would like to go into the definition of being an introvert, right? Because there's a little bit of misinterpretation there, I feel like.
Yeah,
So
yeah, sure.
yeah, so unlike what a lot of people think, you're an introvert when you prefer using your introverted brain functions. So there's different brain functions that we all have and that we all use, but there's some more introverted brain functions and there's some more extroverted brain functions, so to say. And when you prefer to use one introverted function, for example, introverted feeling, so feeling inside your system and body whether there's emotion going on,
Mm-hmm.
that is a very introverted, introspective kind of brain function, right? So when you prefer to use, for example, that kind of process throughout your whole day and life, then that makes you more of an introvert versus more of an extrovert. So there's also, for example, my boyfriend is more extroverted, and he uses more like extroverted thinking and talking and speaking while he thinks or thinking while he speaks. I'm not sure, like, I cannot quite comprehend that kind of process yet. But he uses that kind of process more, and it makes him a very efficient speaker. Whereas for me, as a huge introvert and very intuitive, very feeling kind of person, that is way harder to do because I like to go inward, right? So that makes the difference between being an introvert. And then when you prefer to use an introverted brain function as your main process, that also makes you more prone to having less energy because you use up a lot of introverted energy and intro sensing and feeling. And those processes take more time. So your brain works a little bit differently. You're deeply processing the information as an introvert more so than an extroverted brain does, and that makes you more prone to like being tired and stuff like that. And that also makes you more prone to wanting to recharge by yourself as an introvert, as
Mm.
opposed to going to other people for your energy. Right? Does that
Yeah.
make sense?
Yes, yes, true.
Yeah.
So
So my
we are like more we process things slowly.
Yeah, more slowly, but also more deeply and more
Correct.
effectively in the long run. So that makes us like some introverts have really good memory, for example, whereas other people really have very good, well-tuned intuition, right? And that makes your introversion a superpower as well at the same time. So it makes the process slower, yes, but it also processes more deeply when you process it.
All right. Wouldn't that be mo- sometimes misinterpreted as somebody who doesn't care? Like sometimes we just do like
Yes,
that.
aloof. Yes.
Yeah, aloof. Yes,
Yeah. So I've often been called like I have a resting bitch face, for example.
exactly.
People would be like, "Cheer up! Why are you so like gloomy or so, right?" And I
Exactly.
was like, "Huh? I'm just observing. What are you talking about?" So yeah,
Exactly.
definitely, yeah, totally,
Sometimes in the office, I'm still doing my 9 to 5 aside from doing this. So in the
yeah.
office, people, my colleagues, sometimes they tend not to approach me because they can see my forehead,
Your
my
wrinkles.
eyebrow do like this, and then they said that when I look at them, then I smile. But when like I'm in deep thought, they told me I have these flashing words here: "Do not disturb." Do not.
Right.
So I was like, okay, not
Which
really. I'm just
which
thinking.
honestly is quite useful, right? You like that secretly, don't you?
Yes,
Yeah.
I can do a lot more.
Yeah, exactly. It makes you very efficient, and you don't want to be disturbed in your thought process. I mean, really.
Yes, that is
Yeah,
true. Okay, a
exactly.
very very interesting definition of being an introvert. Now,
Right.
going back to the question. So
Yeah,
going back to the
exactly.
topic. Right.
Yeah. So now having said all that, so in business, I believe that it's important to really understand how your introverted brain works compared to how extroverts work, because I feel like a lot of times coaches, business coaches, are talking
Yeah.
about very extroverted ways of doing business. And there's a lot to doing business, right? There's many moving parts. There's many things we need to
Exactly.
have like an overview of. So I feel like it's really important to have a very good grasp of how your brain works as an introvert, because then you can work on developing the parts that you're not so good at yet, right? So that's the kind of mindset that we're talking about, is you aren't good at those things yet, but you can be. Same as extroverts need to learn how to do the introverted processes better, right? So
Yes.
sometimes there's extroverts, and I can observe at extroverts like in the outside world sometimes, and I'm sometimes really astonished or so by how they respond, or because their response is like very quick and very snappy and very shallow sometimes. Whereas I'm like, huh? How could you say something like that to a person, right?
Correct.
And so sometimes I feel like extroverts can learn from introverts, because they can learn how to be a little bit more introspective and reflective on certain processes, whereas we can learn how to be better at speaking our truth and speaking our truths. And that's one example. So like the extroverted thinking that my boyfriend has, right? What I talked about before. But also, for example, an extroverted skill could be like organizing your outside world. That's an
Mm.
extroverted process. So, for example, for me, it has been very challenging sometimes to actually not make a mess of my outside world, because that also makes my inside world more chaotic, right?
Correct.
So
Correct.
we need to focus on those extroverted processes sometimes as well. And it can be a little bit uncomfortable at first to learn those things, definitely. But as we grow, those things get a lot easier always, right?
Right. All
Yeah.
right. Now, that is very, very interesting. We many introverted entrepreneurs really, as I've said earlier before we started, struggle with self promotion. I,
Yeah.
for one, is one of them. So, I really feel awkward to promote myself. So, having this show is I think, my answer to that problem of mine.
Yeah, but you're growing too in this, right?
Yeah, I've learned a lot, back end and all that, production, video editing.
Exactly.
I've learned
Yeah.
that. Now, how can we harness our brain strengths to? I'm doing a segue now for our second topic.
Hmm.
Let me just flash it. So, how can we harness our brain strengths to confidently showcase our expertise and offerings, now ultimately leading to, higher opportunities?
Right. So, as a lot of introverts are inside our own heads all the time, right? What I just mentioned, that we're inside our feelings, we're reflecting, we're analyzing. That is all fine, but there's a pitfall to that, which we can fall into very easily. So, which has to do more with like the mindset trap. I hear a lot of introverts constantly say, I really love self development work. I love to do the inner stuff. I love to think. I love to do my branding and do the creative process. I love,
Yeah.
I love all of those pieces. But then we sometimes tend to overanalyze, overthink, overfeel into all of those things. That's for one, right?
Exactly.
And so when we focus on the mindset work only, which is our comfort zone most of the
Yep.
time, then we're missing the other part of like the strategy and the deeper healings we need sometimes, right? So
Mhm.
focusing on mindset isn't always the way to go in business, not well, by itself at least. So we tend to focus too much on the inner stuff instead of actually making the translation to the extroverted outer world, so to say. And a lot of introverts also find it really hard to make decisions, for example, to really make that hard decision of what they're going to do in their business, or for example their niche, right? I hear
Mhm.
so many people say like, I want to serve so many people, and I don't want to leave people out of my niche, and they keep overthinking their niche so much, and their I help message statement, for example, this is also cool. A lot of people get stuck on that one.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really just that there's often like this overthinking, over analyzing thing, and then there's also a lot of fears and insecurities that
Mhm.
play a part in that. And I feel like sometimes simply the not knowing, the unknown, is also a thing for a lot of introverts, and we tend to overanalyze the unknown, right? And we have so many scenarios that pop up and make us fearful.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually where I come in, is where with my psychologist background and also my brand creation mentor work, I put all of those things together, and I use the deeper healing, also a bit of the mindset work, but also the strategy, and I use the introverted brain to really all mesh it together, if that makes sense. So to really make it really focused on the introverts.
All right. It's pure gold. What other, other, do you have any other techniques or any like instant win that you can, strategy that you can advise for us when we are in this mindset trap? What do we
Right.
do? Like, choom, get
Yeah,
out of
it's
there.
not. Yeah, it's not like there's some magic button, right? I wish
All
there
right.
was.
Uh-huh.
But first of all, becoming aware that you actually have this tendency to focus on the mindset work and the inner work and the self development and the branding and the message, and that really helps. And then finding techniques that work for you. For example, some people do really love to journal. That's fine. You can
Mm-hmm.
definitely journal things out and see what lies underneath your fear. But if you want to really move faster, then you can use like the deeper healing techniques that I like to use as a psychologist, right? So yeah, for example, EMDR. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not sure, Ritzel, if you've heard of it
No, I
before.
haven't. I haven't.
No. Well, I think if I'm gonna explain everything of what EMDR is, this is gonna be a really long interview.
We have time. We have top of the hour, 1 hour.
I can go a little bit into what that is and how I like to use it, because I feel like there's also a lot of people who know EMDR and they have negative experiences with it, which is a
Mm-hmm.
shame. So EMDR is an abbreviation for eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. What it does is it's usually used for trauma. Okay, so but you can forget about that later. But for now, just explaining what EMDR does. When you have experienced trauma in your past, usually your brain didn't function well at that point, because we need to survive in trauma, right?
Yeah.
We need to get through that moment. Like our body needs to survive sometimes. And so some brain functions don't work properly during that period. Now, the problem exists after, when you get out of that traumatic situation. Then usually some people develop this trauma where they get like flashbacks, and their brain just didn't really process that trauma well. And
Mm-hmm.
because they don't like to go back to the trauma, obviously, because they want to avoid that whole thing altogether, because it's been traumatic for a reason, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
they try to they subconsciously avoid the whole thing altogether, and it doesn't get processed the right way, and that makes you fearful towards the future. That makes you pull conclusions that might not always be right about how the
Right.
world is,
Mm-hmm.
right? um, and EMDR, basically what it does, it's a technique where, for example, you as a therapist, you move your fingers. So it's a really weird looking technique. But what it does is it stimulates both parts of your brain, because your eyes are moving as a client.
Mm-hmm.
And that basically balances the two sides of your brain, and it integrates the whole trauma so that it gets processed better and deeper, and so that the actual like feelings connected to the trauma get released. So that means that, for example, if you have like some kind of money mindset issue, when I focus on the entrepreneur stuff,
Yeah.
when you have like a money mindset issue, for example, for me that has been that money isn't mine. Money is there to share with everyone, so my money is not mine, right? That conclusion came from some kind of mini trauma that I had in the past.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And when I solved that one, it released me of that feeling of money isn't mine. I need to spend it on other people, and I could actually hold on to the money from then on when I released that belief, right? So
Right.
that's what EMDR does, and that's how I like to use it. Not on the specific, very big traumas that we have as human beings, because that works as well. EMDR works for that, but also for those mini traumas that we all have, like humans. I always mention to people that whenever we lose a loved one, that's a
Uh-huh.
mini trauma in itself, right? We all always say like that's part of life, But even though it's part of life, it's still hard. If you love someone and you lose someone, then that's still traumatic to you as a human being. So even though that we have these traumas or mini traumas, that doesn't mean that we shouldn't be solving those things in order to move on. And same thing for our businesses, if that makes sense.
All right. Yes, it does make sense, and I'm kind of relating to that mini trauma that you because I lost my brother like 2018 brain tumor.
Oh,
Also
sorry.
lost my father-in-law car accident,
Yeah.
motorbike accident, and then my mother-in-law COVID.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yes. That was very traumatic because we are very far away from them. So we are here in Kuala Lumpur. I'm working here, and then
Yeah.
they are in the Philippines. So it's like I can't do anything, right? And
Oh,
then we are on a call, especially my mother-in-law, and I am in a call with her during her time,
hmm.
and she's really like saying it hurts. So it's like I can't do anything. So how? And then
Yeah.
COVID time, nobody wants to help
Yeah,
that
exactly.
time. So it's very very difficult. It really is a very difficult time. So that gave me really a mini
Mm,
trauma where if I have lots of money, these people will move,
mm,
right? I have
yeah,
lots of money. All these people who are saying no, no, no will move. So I'll just give
yeah,
money to you. I'll do something for me,
exactly,
right?
exactly.
So
Yeah,
it's like,
that's how like beliefs start to exist inside our minds, right? And some
oh,
are good, and some are like holding us back to create the results in the business that we want.
yes, yes, that
Yeah.
is so true. So it's like that time I developed this mindset. Any clients can come,
Hmm.
because I need the money, right?
Yeah.
And then I suffer because I'm stressed. All these clients that I don't know who are giving me so much stress. Also, okay, then, all right, what's going on? So I thought about it, and then, okay, this is not what life is supposed to be.
Exactly, because that's burning you out in the end, right? If you
Correct,
work with
correct.
people who
And
are, yeah,
and being introverted, okay, no, this isn't gonna work.
no,
Okay, it isn't gonna work. So end up returning their money. Okay, we're not good, Pete. Here's your money.
right, yeah, I can imagine.
Okay. Yeah. So anyway, enough of that. All right. So we've explored two topics already. Now we will discover the hidden treasure, the
Hmm.
treasure chest of wealth secret, and learn how to pay off debt like a pro, like our coach here. All right. Let's go to the third topic: unlocking wealth secrets. How Coach Jamila paid her 20,000 debt in 2 years as an introverted entrepreneur. 2 years, huh? 2 years. Okay, go ahead, coach.
Right.
How did
So
you do it?
right. So I sort of spoiled the surprise a little bit earlier. I sort of spilled the milk, I'd say. But I started off about 4 years ago or 3 years ago with that 20K debt, and to me that was huge. So for some people that might be like, yeah, I have a student study loan or whatever, which is higher. But for me, that was a really big debt, especially because of my money mindset back then, but also because it had to do with tax company stuff, right? And
Right.
we do not want to experience any trouble with the tax companies. So, so yeah, they basically gave some kind of notice where I had to pay it off within a week, and so I was like very
Okay.
panicky. I had to pay off like I think eight or 10K in a week, and I didn't have it because my money mindset was crap back then, and I never saved any money. Like my money mindset was based on my family history, and my family history was, like I said, like my money isn't mine, and they all have that same belief, so they were just spending it on whatever, right? And I never really learned how to properly manage my money, and so I
Mhm.
didn't have the money when my tax company said that I had to pay the money. I didn't have it, so I got in big trouble. And I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat, like I was super stressed. And I also needed a new car back then because my old one broke down. All of those things always come together, don't they?
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. So then everything, like the whole world goes up into flames, for your in your experience, and then something just had to change. So basically, what I did is I really dove deeper than the mindset stuff because I was definitely doing self development and mindset. Maybe also because I'm a psychologist. I don't know. But then I really dove deeper into that money mindset of myself. And I was like, where is this thing coming from that I cannot seem to hold on to the money? Because I was
Mhm.
making like 7 to 10K months back then for my private practice, right? So that was a lot of money, but I couldn't hold on to it somehow. It was always going poof. It
Yeah.
was disappearing everywhere. And then my mom would come and, there would be some kind of issue with her house and, all of those things. So I discovered EMDR, like I said before, and I was never really a fan of EMDR because I was a bit scared of the technique because it seemed weird to me. And then I learned more about it also because I'm a psychologist. And then I got into therapy and did the EMDR myself. And that really helped me to process the whole money mindset beliefs that I had that kept me stuck in that like scarcity mindset. It was
Mhm.
almost like I was always scared I didn't have money while I had a lot, and it was always just going poof. Um, so now, after like a couple of years, I think I was in therapy for only a couple of months, and we didn't just cover the money mindset; it was also birth trauma and stuff like that. But anyways, due to the mindset beliefs that I lifted through the EMDR stuff, I now paid off the debt within the 2 years. I got a new car. So back then I got a new car, but now I got my new car, so the Ford Fiesta. I am now investing in stocks. I'm
Cool.
now also investing in my retirement. So I'm saving up for my retirement. And I'm finally going on a dream vacation in October to Japan, which is
Yeah.
amazing. I've wanted to go there for like ages. I think, like I said, I'm a very anime geeky girl, so I've been wanting to go there for ages, and now my dream is finally coming true. So that is how powerful this deep healing can be, right? And so I discovered that, and now I'm also providing that to my clients. So yeah, that's basically my story.
Wow. So handling that can be really, really overwhelming, so especially for introverts like us who might prefer more, solitary approaches. So how do
Hmm.
you, I didn't catch it earlier, but how did you stay motivated and focused on your financial goals during that paying journey?
The thing is that it's now so much more easy going. So before I was really struggling to keep focused and motivated on doing all the things right.
Mhm.
But since I released those money beliefs, it's like it's natural to me now. That sounds like magic, and it does feel a little bit like weird, and because I didn't used to be that way. But it's really, if you do the deep healing work, things just go by itself naturally, and you're
Mhm.
just a different person. It's like it's never been different. So I know that I was in debt, but I cannot relate to that past self anymore, if that makes sense.
Oh, okay. Did you actually do some cash flow journaling, like what comes in, what comes out?
I don't really do cash flow journaling, but I do have an Excel sheet that I regularly update. So I have like business expenses, business income, the money goals that I have, but also what I need to set aside for the quarterly and yearly payments, right? So I have this document that I do like once or twice in maybe a quarter of the year that I
Mhm.
update. Yeah.
All right. That is very, very good. We do. I've recently, or not recently, 2 years ago, we've implemented this cash flow journaling. What comes in daily, what comes out daily, and then
Mhm.
balance from previous. And then, yeah, especially when we do groceries. So it's
Right.
quite helpful and very educational for my son as well. So now he
Right.
knows the meaning of money and how it's
Yeah,
being earned. So
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah. So important.
yes. So all right, now All right, everyone. Now, as we wrap up this segment, let's reflect on the valuable insight shared by our coach, Jamila Ekkel. Here are my takeaways for this episode. So, for the introverted brain, the first topic, um, embrace your introverted nature as a unique strength in business. Right? Tap into your innate ability for deep focus and creativity. We are not slow. Okay. Leverage your introverted brain to build meaningful connections with clients and customers. So when we talk with sense,
Yeah.
actually. All right, now topic two, which is avoiding the mindset trap. We shift the focus from repetitive mindset work to actually practical action steps, like what Coach mentioned earlier. Now, we also overcome common trap of really getting stuck in our mindset loops. Okay, and then we empower ourselves with actionable strategies tailored to introverted entrepreneurs. So I jot down my action items before I sleep, right? And then tomorrow morning I go look at it. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do today. Blah blah blah. All right. Now for topic number three, unlocking wealth secrets. Um, Transforming our financial challenges into opportunities instead of like getting anxious. Okay, I have no money now. Then I'm gonna say, how are we going to? What are we going to do to make money today?
Right.
Right? Now, discover the power of smart financial decisions and disciplined strategies. So, if I spend this now, what will happen?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now, embrace the mindset of abundance and attract wealth into our lives and business, just like what Coach said. When she changed her mindset, everything comes so fluid.
Yeah.
All right. Now, by incorporating these valuable insights into our business journey, we'll be equipped to accelerate our income growth without being held back by repetitive mindset work. Now, if you came in late, ladies and gentlemen, please watch the replay inside the group. Talking Business with Ritz, live expert interview. Now we move on to the next segment, Work with the Expert, where Coach Jamila will share her unique offers to help further enhance our entrepreneurial success. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to the third segment of Talking Business with Ritz live expert interview. In the Learn from the Expert segment, our incredible guest speaker, Jamila, Coach Jamila Ekkel, shared powerful insights on how introverted entrepreneurs can raise their income faster without getting caught in the repetitive mindset work. Now, we learn about the untapped potential of introverted brain power, okay, the importance of avoiding the mindset trap, and the secrets to unlocking wealth and financial success. Now, as we enter the final segment, Work with the Expert, Coach Jamila is ready to offer you an extraordinary opportunity to take your business and income to new heights. Now, she has a range of personalized coaching programs, workshops, and resources that are specifically designed to empower introverted entrepreneurs like you and me. By working with Coach Jamila, you'll receive expert guidance, personalized strategies, and transformative tools to unleash your potential. Okay, and create abundance in your business and in life. So, if you're ready to elevate your income and reach unprecedented level of success as an introverted entrepreneur, now is the perfect time to explore the exciting offers Coach Jamila has prepared for us. So, without further ado, Coach Jamila, okay, could you tell us more about what offer you have for us today?
Right. So, like I said before, I'm a psychologist and I use EMDR, for example, to get rid of some certain beliefs that are limiting us in our businesses, right? So, also the mindset beliefs that we have as introverts.
Mhm.
And so, I would like to offer a EMDR package which is available with a little discount for the watchers that are the viewers that are on this interview. And it's going to be three whole sessions of 1 hour for 444. Sorry, and so that's a package of three sessions, and you get it a little discount, like I said, because the price is higher for the people that are just visiting my website randomly. You can, if you want to work on your mindset and you want to get rid of certain limiting beliefs that you have yourself, and you can relate maybe to the money mindset stuff that I was talking about earlier, or you have different mindset beliefs that, for example, you cannot do certain things in business, or that you need to be like those extroverted people, or those are all kinds of limiting beliefs that we can work on using this EMDR package. And EMDR works really fast, so that's why it's only 3 sessions. And it's also relatively highly priced, but you get fast results, right? So if you want to know more about if I can help you with the things that you're going through, then just DM me and we can talk about it in DMs and I can tell you more about it.
All right, that sounds amazing, Coach Jamila. I'm sure our audience would love to know how they can get in touch with you and learn more about this offer.
Sure. So the easiest way is just to go to my Facebook profile and just either befriend me, contact me, send me a DM, whichever you like. Yeah, exactly. Below. Thank you. So yeah, my last name on there is Hendricks because that's my mom's name actually. So it's not a typo. It's true.
All right. I was meaning to ask that.
Yeah. So for any like how do you say that, worries about that or so? No, no worries.
All right, now wonderful. Now, before we wrap up, Coach Jamila, do you have any personal advice or final words of wisdom you'd like to share with our audience?
What I would really advise the introverts that are watching right now, and if you're feeling a little bit insecure about yourself, I definitely hope that today has helped you a little bit into getting more insight into your own introverted self, and that you're not being weird, right? It's not you, it's just you're wired differently. And that's okay. I mean, you just need to work with how your brain works, and you need to understand your own brain better. That's all, and that's the biggest piece of advice that I can give you right now.
That's such a wonderful, valuable advice, Coach Jamila. Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Um, I'd love to invite you to once again share with our amazing audience the exciting offers you have prepared for them. I believe they've gained so much valuable knowledge from you today. I, for one, yes, and I know they'd be eager to explore the possibilities of working with you to accelerate their income and business growth. Would you like to invite them again?
Sorry, sure. That was my cue.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you are curious about what I have to offer, because the EMDR packages is not the only thing. I'm also, like you said, a brand creation mentor. There's a wide range that I can offer you, and the easiest way to contact me is just go to my Facebook profile. Link is below. And there are different kind of links. I'm gonna put up a link tree, by the way, so it's gonna be easier to find everything. And so you can just click on anything that is of interest to you, and you can read about it. That's the easiest way, I guess. Or ask me.
All right. Now, okay, thank you very much. Now, as we bid farewell to our wonderful audience, I want to extend my deepest gratitude to you, Coach Jamila, for being here with us today and sharing your expertise. Your insights have been truly transformative, and I'm sure our viewers can't wait to connect with you further. So, my friends, make sure to check out the special offers Coach Jamila has for you. Remember, she's here to help you succeed on your journey to raising your income and achieving your dreams without repetitive mindset work. Now, thank you all for being part of today's enlightening episode. Let me just remove this one of Talking Business with Ritz. I hope you found inspiration, practical strategies, and powerful insights to elevate your entrepreneurial journey today. And remember, success is within your reach. And with the right mindset and guidance, you can achieve your wildest dreams. Okay, don't let anything hold you back. If you love today's discussion with Coach Jamila Ekkel and want to learn more and other incredible guests, join us for the next episode where we'll be diving deep into another exciting topic that will empower you in your business and personal growth. Okay, so mark your calendars for next episode and make sure to subscribe to our channel, follow us on social media, and join our community for the latest updates and exclusive content. All right. Would you like to say goodbye, Coach
Definitely.
Jamila?
Bye, everyone, and thank you so much for being here, and thank you, Ritzel, for having me today.
All right. You're welcome. Now, until then, keep thriving, uh, stay authentic, and keep manifesting your dreams into reality. See you next time on Talking Business with Ritz. Take care, everybody. Keep believing in yourself, take inspired action, and never forget that you can raise your income as an introvert entrepreneur. Now, this is Ritzel Rectra and Coach Jamila Ekkel. Until next time, everyone, stay motivated, stay inspired, stay safe and healthy, and keep talking business with Ritz.